Test, test, 1, 2. All right, solid.
Vivid visions of us carry on. Think I found the light, it's been so long. I better hold on to this feeling before it's gone. Whatever happened, we both grew as time moved on. Oh, feels like I'm the only one looking at blue skies, dreaming of old times. Brighter days will come. Looking at blue skies with you in my mind. I'm the only one. Brighter days will come. And I'm the only one. Looking at blue skies, dreaming of old times. Dreaming of old
Or keeps going out of focus. What do I have it set on? Oh, let's try this. There we go. That should show with the focus a little bit. Should focus here. Focus here. There we go. And then focus there. Should stop, hopefully. It might have been picking up on my shoulder. Watching from across the world. Well, welcome to the stream from Australia. Good to have you, buddy. Yeah, sorry, Dodo. I think it should be good now. What are you talking about? NA. Oh, so NA, I was talking about the Washington, D.C. keyboard meetup. Yeah, absolutely. If that's what I was talking about, if that makes sense, the Washington, D.C. keyboard meetup, that's what it was. The link is in the description in my stream below. But yeah, what we're doing tonight is a little bit different for this channel. We're building something that is dirt cheap. If you're thinking about getting into this hobby, there's no reason not to have a mechanical keyboard. Because you guys, I cheated, as I said, you guys are looking at about $60 here. So what this is a Tech Keys 60. And it is not the worst looking anodization I've seen. Obviously it's by far the best, or it's far from the best, I should say. But it's not bad. I'm getting my fingerprints all over it, sorry about that. So I also have like little 3mm, come on camera focus. I also have like 3mm stickies as opposed to like the 4 or 10. I think this is supposed to be like 10mm. I don't know what my camp focus is doing. Sorry about that, guys. But here's the problem. I just got this shipped in today. That is a nasty little scar. Nasty little battle scar right in front. But for what I plan on doing with this thing, I'm not too upset. It was $25 for the case. It was $35 for the PCB. With taxes and free shipping, takes us just to about $60 for this thing. So I have some Gateron black lubed spring swapped switches here. And yeah, it's a it's a CNC milled aluminum case for $25. So I went ahead and I just tested a couple of small things on it. This is the backspace on it. So I cheated a little bit. I wanted to just test and make sure it wasn't gonna sound like absolute garbage. And so I jumped the gun a little bit. We are going to need to break this down a little bit because I have not yet tuned 2 of these 4 stabilizers. And so without further ado, well, hopefully this screw right here was like really hard to get in. Hopefully we'll be able to get this out again. I'm gonna go ahead and unscrew this PCB. Gap blacks aren't bad at all. Yeah, don't underestimate gap blacks. Gap blacks, gap yellows, very good linear switches. Not a problem with those at all. All right, that was the one I was worried about. This part right here in like the GH60 PCB is like, that like really is tight right there with that screw going in. Made me really nervous the first time around. So I actually got this idea. Dodo, are you still in chat? I actually got this idea from Classics. He had this thing, and when I looked it up, it was normally like a $50 case on sale for $25. It's like, that's a no-brainer. And we'll just have a little bit of fun with it. A PC Singer. I built one of those up a couple months ago, Bangle Scott. Those things are very, very nice. Elaine does some fantastic work there. I built one up for a client. I wish I could say it was mine. I hope this PCB doesn't fall out. I think I'm down to 1 screw now. If I turn that upside down again, it's gonna flip out of here. All right. I think we're good there. We are. Oh boy, we're losing switches. So here's the inside of the case. I mean, as you can see, it's just a tray mount, very simple, nothing to it. It's got some anodization marks on it. You can see the claw marks on it. You can see a bit of streaking, but for $25, I mean, it's a little bit of weight to it. Obviously, no brass weights or anything in it. You've got some screw holes here. I'm not sure what those are for. It looks like you could maybe attach something, maybe like legs or something, if you wanted to prop this, maybe. I don't know what those are for. I don't know what this is, but we'll see. I know those aren't utilized for what I'm doing tonight. We're just keeping it flat. We're keeping it at a very low angle, nothing to it. Aluminum legs. Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking. You know those little like screw-in feet? The little circular ones? Yeah. I do not. I don't have a scale. I'm sorry, guys. Nothing too precise here. But, I mean... It weighs about as much as this spool of solder. How much weight is this? Net weight is 1 pound on this spool of solder when it's full. And this is not full. This is probably about maybe 60% full. So I mean, this is about maybe a little more than half a pound. So, all right. So yeah, we need to get in here. And I'm gonna have switches falling out on me here as I pull these stabilizers out. I have one more stabilizer tuned already, so we will be tuning some stabilizers for this. So again, I'm kind of treating this as like an introductions guide into keyboards tonight. You know, if you guys are new to keyboards in chat and interested in getting into this hobby, you know, no reason not to with an entry point of $60. I got this board from techkeys.com. Techkeys.com. Nope, not chatterbait. You're missing out if you leave, though. I'm sexier than anyone else you'd find on chatterbait. Come on now. Let's be real. It's Fit Vito. I'm guessing that that's you, Vito. Am I right in assuming that that's Vito? And thanks, man. My hair must be on point tonight. That's the second compliment I've gotten. Thanks, guys. Alright, enter key and the backspace key are completed. Ah, Vito, what's up, my bro? My dude. I'm looking forward to seeing you here in a couple days, man. Well, a couple weeks, I should say. I'm getting ahead of myself. Not evening. Who's not evening? Oh, I got you. I have not. Have you been posting it on Instagram? Feel free to link anything you've got cooking right now in chat. We're all keyboard enthusiasts around here. Oh, hello, DQ. Toxicity has joined chat, everybody. Toxicity has joined the chat. What are you up to, DQ? What brings you in around these parts this evening? Man, I'm actually streaming on my scheduled night. My God, did you guys see that schedule that I put up on Twitch? Tuesday nights. I was only like an hour late for my scheduled start time. How about that? All right, there's for spacebar, and this is for the left shift. And that should be all we need. We can put these other stabilizers over here. 2 wires. Okay. So what we're doing right now, guys, let me show you here. Oh, I lost my other camera. Come here, camera. Come here. We are clipping these little pins here, these little prongs. Gotta clip those off. Ain't nobody got time for those little prongs. Gotta get rid of them. Just using a little pair of wire cutters. Snipping the little prongs off the bottom of this guy right off. And they're just flying everywhere. Who knows where they're going. I got the cleaning lady coming tomorrow. They'll vacuum them up. We'll be all right. They'll figure it out. All right. Next, we're gonna go ahead and apply some lubrication. It's time to get wet. Let's see here. Oh man, it only took DQ like 5 minutes to start making mom and wife and womanizing jokes. Man, that dude is so toxic. That dude is so toxic. Yeah, go with aluminum over wood. Why not, right? How do you have like 8 kids in time to stream? Vito, it's not that bad, my dude. I don't have that many kids. If I had 8 kids, I wouldn't have any hair. So this is the problem with NA6 with this keyboard. You don't know if this is what it's going to look like, but you run the risk of catching something like this. Got a nice little mark in it in shipping. I don't know if that happened in shipping or if that's just how it pulled off. So I mean, quality control is not there, but for a $25 keyboard, what does it matter, you know? For an introduction into the hobby and just getting in it, you know, it's unbeatable. Oh, that sucks, Bangle Soft. I'm sorry to hear that, man. Nobody likes getting a bad haircut. All right. Where'd my paintbrush? All right, so we are doing. Oh my God, that's so juicy. That's so juicy. We've got some 205 G0 here, fam. And we're painting the inside of this housing here. Oh man, my webcam is in like the perfect spot to block that, isn't it? Sorry about that, guys. The good thing about lubing stabilizers is you don't really have to worry about overdoing the lubricant. You can pretty much just apply liberally. So Vito, I didn't see, oh, there we go, there's the link. I almost cruised right by it. Let me see here, let's click this Instagram link and see what we got. Ooh, oh my goodness. That is trippy. Are those, they look like flowers underneath the eyes. Oh my goodness. Dude, that's so dope. Oh my god. Yeah, we're hoping. Here's the hoping we get one of those. Okay. Let me see here. Let me catch up with chat here. Reminds me I might end up getting a hair. Blah, blah, blah. I'm not sure you can relate to. Trust me, I've had my fair share of bad haircuts. Having your hair almost down to your shoulders depends on how close you got it cropped. That can be tough. I mean, if you got it cut short after having it that long, that's kind of like a gamble, you know? You don't know what you're gonna get. And then, can lubricant dry up? Yeah, so, I mean, do you mean, like after it's been applied to a keyboard or the shelf life? Because the shelf life, there is a shelf life on it as it's in the vial, and there's also a different shelf life after it's been, you know, after applied. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't catch me lying to you, right? I would Google that. I don't know what the exact shelf life is of these lubricants. It's probably difficult to tell for a decent number of them because a lot of these are mixtures of different compounds. So you know, you gotta be pretty specific about what you're looking at. But it's a decent amount of time. I mean, you're not gonna find yourself having to like reapply every year or so, if that makes sense. You know, and in fact, after application of lube, you know, you'll really find that there's a break-in period, and then after it gets broken in, it just starts feeling better and better. Oh, there we go. Hey, thanks so much for looking that up. Not evening. That's perfect. So let's learn something. Krytox, PFPE, grease, and oil lubricants with no additives have an indefinite shelf life if left unopened and stored. Okay, so there we go. Krytox grease that are 40 years old have been tested and still perform as well as they did the day they were originally made. There we go. They do not oxidize, degrade as sitting in storage or in use. They are stable under conditions up to their decomposition temperature, which is above. Yeah, you're not going to be hitting that decomposition temperature. Even if you're the fastest speed typer, you're not hitting that. Yeah, so I'd say you're okay. You don't have to worry about that really. Let's see here. I knew it was long. I didn't know how long. So yeah, you would be having to refinish a keyboard before you had to re-lube a switch. For just purposes of it breaking down, you know? I mean, it would last a long time. I have to watch out. I always do this. I always end up off camera when I'm lubing this. I pull it closer to my body just naturally. Do you use the 205G0? I think that's the name on the switches too. Yes, I do. These switches are lubricated with 205G0 on the stems, and then I've got LSD oil on the. Did I just put it in? I just did. I put it in upside down, and I've got LSD oil on the springs. The biggest thing with lubricant is not every switch is different, right? And so with lubricating any switch, I always recommend that you just test it. My general rule of thumb is if you're lubing something up that you've never lubed before, go ahead and test it. My God, what am I doing here? This thing is elusive. There we go. Yeah, so if you're lubing something up, this is disgusting. I just got lubricant all over that housing. I've not built in a while, clearly. What's wrong with me? If you're lubing up switches for the first time that you have not yet worked with them, I'd recommend you know, having a side-by-side. Maybe take a couple of them and have them unlubed stock. Take a couple of them and just lube the stem. Take a couple of them, lube the spring. Take a couple of them, lube the spring and the stem, and then take a couple and lube the spring, stem, and housing, and just see what you get. That's kind of like my go-to organization for linears. You know, you might find differences, obviously, and want to switch that up. You know, it's not an exact process, but as you kind of feel each of the different variants, you'll kind of get an idea for which ones you like more. Let's see here. Yeah, so again, yeah, not evening. I mean, this isn't anything ridiculously harsh. This is not a harsh environment. I do not have a Kale pink. I do not have a Kale box pink that I can test. I only think the only box switches I have are box blacks. I've not actually utilized too many box switches. I got, honestly, I kind of remembered hearing about that one issue where box switches were breaking stems, and I never really gave box switches a chance. Luckily, I didn't have any box switches built with keycaps mounted on them beforehand, and so I didn't run into that issue, and once I heard that, I was kind of just like, nah, I think I'll avoid box switches. Which at this point I think they've fixed that, but you know, at that point, you know, I don't know, I'm stubborn and set in my ways, right? I know what I like, and I build with what I like. I should have like a linear ranking list. I do mostly linears these days. If I'm doing tactiles, I typically do Topra or Alps. And for Alps, I like orange. And I also like Alps Blue. Those are my favorite tactiles. And then my favorite MX tactile is very linear feeling. It's a vintage brown. I used to like a couple of Virgo clear builds, but those are a little too fatiguing for my weak baby hands these days. All right, we're done with that part of the lubricant. So what I like to do next, so after lubing, you want to lube anywhere where plastic hits metal and plastic hits plastic on these guys. And what I do after lubing the actual wire and housing is I hit up a little bit of super lube in the bottom of the housing here, so you can see where you can see that bridge is. I hit it up on the backside. That's what she said. Get a nice amount of lubricant injected into the rear end there. Oh boy, I need to stop. How old am I? Oh boy. I might. Hey man, it's just you know, you got to get it in there. You got to get it all up in there. All right. All right, we want to wipe off some excess here. How hard do you think it would be to add a battery to this case? If you send me kind of like the form factor of what you're talking about in terms of batteries, I can provide you with some. I can't provide you with measurements, but I can give you, you know, a little bit of insight to how much clearance you'd have. It would not be too scientific. The standoffs are not too large. I would say we're looking at probably. We're probably looking at like, here, take a look. there's my finger for reference. It's kind of hard to get a good angle, obviously, at a recessed standoff, but it's about, if you look at the width of my finger at the tip, right? If you look at the width of my finger right there at the tip, it's probably about half of that. So I mean, look at your index finger and look at, you know, look at half of it from, you know, I don't know, I'm getting, who cares? I'm not going to be able to get you a good measurement. Depends on how thick the battery is. Your eyes are not broke. That is a Jane sitting on my desk. That is a Jane. All right. You've got we can do a side-by-side comparison after I'm done building with one of the most expensive boards you can buy and one of the cheapest boards you can buy. How about that, guys? All right, now that we're done lubing, get a little bit of over shoulder here. This is a better camera quality anyways. I just don't want to worry about mounting my Sony above me. As long as it's thin. I mean, if you can link me something of what you're looking at, you know, what kind of form factor you're looking at in a 6, I might be able to tell you, you know, kind of what we're looking at, you know, in terms of like standoff size. As I mentioned, I don't really have anything other than like a tape measure, which is not going to be a precise measurement, but there we go, perfectly. Let me take a look here at what this link is. Something like that might work. 7-inch tablet. Okay, that might be difficult because, oh, of course, I don't have a tape measure here. I can give you, once I'm done streaming, hit me up on chat. If you join my Discord, you can DM me. I can measure the insides of the case for you and tell you if you'd have enough space here. I just don't have a tape measure right now. You would need to make sure that like the standoffs, you know, give you enough space to actually mount a battery. And then for running cables and everything, you know, you would need to double check that. The one thing that I would say if you do something like that, one of the benefits to a tray mounted design like this is that you get a little bit of flex in the PCB, which is quite nice. If you put a battery underneath that, then you're going to have the PCB sitting on top of that. I'm going to assume that if it's not too little room for clearance, it's going to be very close, and so, you know, odds are you're going to affect the feel that you'd have from this keyboard, you know, typically. The one thing I want to do too before we really get rolling with this build tonight, guys, I want to check out the bottom row. I know I have a couple of different options with this guy. I want to see what my best bet is for this layout. Our stabilizer tuning is done though, so we're groovy there. Oh no, we're out of switches. Just kidding. Oh boy, we're swapped here. Switching orientation on me. Oh, whoops. I do not want to put that in. Had a couple LEDs in this set of switches from last time. Let me get here. I want to switch this up here a little bit. What have we got going on here? Oh damn, we got a lot of keyboard streamers going on tonight. I was wondering. Attendance seemed a little bit low. I'm like competing with like 3 other groups. We're gonna go stepped for this. And this is a funny PCB. They added so many extra elements into this thing. Okay, let me grab the layout here. Let's see what we got here. Yes, I do use switch films. It just depends on which type of switch I'm using. For this build, I do not have switch films installed. I sometimes use them, sometimes do not. Let's go to shift. And then let's go with backspace. Oh my goodness, this stabilizer doesn't want to find its spot. There we go. Yes, I use switch films all the time though. Switch films are very groovy. Very groovy, baby, yeah. Alright. Do I have the ability on this to do Uno dos tres? 1. I think I want to do 2. I don't think that fits. No, that does not fit. Wait, this needs to be a 1U. That does fit. That's what the layout is. That's what the layout is. That's what we're going with. And then the other side of it is going to be very similar. If I can find, there's an alt. Forgive me guys, I just want to make sure that I've got enough. I want to make sure I have enough plugged in on this keyboard. So the trick, one of the tricks for sure guys, with going with a PCB build and not having anything to hold your switches into place, i.e. a plate, you want to make sure that your switches are going in straight. Very important to have that, right? And so to do that, what I highly recommend doing is to go ahead, and these are not the ones I want. Ultimately, I want row 5. Is to have keycaps on it and continually check your build as you're going, and ensure that you know, all of them are straight. We can use this. There we go. Wait, I need an alt. There should be one more key. There's the 5. Hey, there we go. All right, let me catch up here. Ama Meowj, thank you very much for the follow. I appreciate that. Let's see if I missed anybody else. Rooster TM as well. Thank you very much for the follow. I appreciate you guys. I hope you enjoy your stay. If you're new to keyboards, absolutely ask any questions. Rooster, I know you're not new. I know you ain't new, Rooster. I think I have all these screwed in. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I need to bridge one of those screws actually with a washer. I think it's coming pretty close to making contact with the PCB, so probably shorting out. There we go. We're going with Tulip on this build. All right, let's go ahead and get this mounted here. Needs to be over in the far one. Right there. Hey, is that Nav? What's up, buddy? You know I'm not that fancy, my dude. We're building a GH60 tonight, though, with a what's it called? With a Tech Keys 60% CNC milled case. This is all in $60, not including switches and keycaps. Oh, Resi, that's awesome, dude. Yeah, you love it when you get stuff like that, right? I'll take Hebrew. Man, where's my Hebrew? Switch. Man, imagine building keyboards as much as I do and not knowing exactly which rows I need to put this in. Pop this out. I always like checking, guys. It's always better to be safe than sorry. Just pop the keycaps on there and give it a check. No reason not to be sure. Is that Nav? I'm sorry. Theanavu? Is that Nav? From My Nav? Local? My Nav. Is that my Nav? Is that you, Nav? I apologize if you are not the person I'm thinking of. I'm rambling like an idiot in that case. I have a friend who's local to me named Nav, and that portion of your name stuck out to me. He's like not even here. The build command didn't work, and he was like, "Oh, screw this guy's stream. He doesn't have anything going on." Just want to get rid of this stuff. We're gonna clean up just a little bit here, guys. Get ready to do some soldering. That's what's next. We're gonna pop this on and this on. And we're going to also, if we find it, oh my god, it's like the first key I pick up. It was destiny. What's the longest you got a USB cable to work on a keyboard? Like the distance wise? I've not tried anything other than a couple of feet. I'm not sure. Is that what you're talking about? Or the longest, like, the longest one I've used for the longest amount of time. Is that what you mean? I'm planning to make a 5-meter USB cable for when I make a cable and I just have a bunch of coil. Yeah, I mean, I don't think you'd have any issue with that length. 5 meters not too bad. I mean, those cables are going to be approved to like a specific length. I would look that up maybe. I'm gonna move this back. I should start covering that up when I solder so that I don't get it covered in resin splash. Alright, I'm gonna move the case out of the way here. Real quick, I'll show you guys again. This is what we're working on tonight. There's the case, just a very simple tray mount, CNC milled aluminum case, nothing to it. We've got a GH60 build that's completely decked out now at this point, and yeah, we're gonna go ahead and start soldering this thing up in just a moment. Just getting prepped up here, guys. Give me 2 seconds. Getting rid of the things on my desk that I don't necessarily need at the moment. Okay, if it's 5 meters, then I mean you might be cutting it a little bit close here. Let's go ahead and seconds here, guys. Oh, Resi, that's so dope. That's such a cool key set. I love that. Is that Hebrew? That looks really good. Are those green, the sub-legends on it? Yeah, that's nice. Very, very nice. Okay, guys. Our soldering iron is heated up at this point. Let me go ahead and swap over to the overhead. Okay. There we go. Let's hope everything doesn't fall off. Oh, we lost switches. Fantastic, guys. Oh, I love it. Okay, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna go one at a time here. The beauty of building a plateless keyboard. I would not recommend building this, maybe, for your first build. I don't know. Building without a plate can be difficult, obviously. As you can see, switches have a tendency of falling out on you. Here's a trick, though, for you guys. As you can see, I have some keycaps in there, obviously, to make sure they're straight. The first thing I want to do is... Let's go instructional on this. First thing I want to do is I want to... I'm working, of course, where my webcam's at. I want to push this down so that I get the stems pushing through on the switch. My iron is prepped up, ready to go. And I know it's probably going to be difficult to see my switch prongs, but here we are. Heat the element. Apply some solder. And then I've got it on one of the prongs now, right? What you want to do is I hold it. I hold the switch down, or the switch or the keycap, whichever you have, right? And I push, I depress on that. I'm applying pressure right now. And then I heat this element up to ensure that the switch is pushed completely into the PCB. Now with it now with it cooled again, I'm gonna go ahead and heat the other end of the element. There we go. All right, so that switch is done. As you can see, it's probably just going to take us a little bit of time to work through this tonight. We've got this one in here still. I want to get the four corners done first. Not really that it matters, but that'll just kind of, it's a habit, I guess, at this point for me. I always do the first four corners because you want to get it when a plate is installed. You want to get the switches doing it evenly. Go. Okay, those switches are in. One thing I didn't do too with this build, I didn't yet ensure it was the PCB was working. I should probably do that. But I'm just gonna YOLO it actually right now, because I will need to map a PCB. I'll need to map firmware for this. Stay in there this time. There we go. Let's get both of these. Oh, sorry guys. I think it can be better with focus here too. So that said, we've got the strategy down now, right guys? We just do one prong at a time, and then we'll fill in these guys as we go, and then we will push them, we'll depress them, and ensure that they're getting getting in there straight and even. How much reverse dicep caps do you go for usually in group buys? I'm not sure about reverse diceps, but typical group buys for keycaps are in that $100 to $180 range. It depends on the base kit and the options with it, but typically that's what I've been seeing. And with the amount of people going in on keycaps these days, it's trending towards the lower end of that spectrum nowadays. It used to be that GMK keycap buys were in and around the 150-ish or so mark, I want to say. But again, yeah, what is it? I think Dracula's at 130 or something like that, GMK Dracula, and that one's nuts. That's such a good looking keycap set. Dracula. We are consuming some fumes tonight, guys. I should probably put my extractor on. All right, our bottom row is done and a little bit crooked. I'll have some switches to repair, I'm sure. We're gonna forge on ahead because as I mentioned, I'm sure I'll have switches to repair throughout. Right now I'm just going through and I'm pushing all these switches that I have on this row in all the way. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to install them one at a time, one pin at a time from each switch first. And then from there, we'll do the same process. We're going to do the same process all throughout this board since we're going plate mount, right? Our PCB mount. As you can see, I'm just hitting one pin from each of these switches. All right, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna touch each one of these and push them through. Basically just getting this solder molten, applying pressure, and cooling it off. These middle alpha keys went in pretty nicely. I haven't had one of these push through much at all. Man, this one's gonna rip my hands up. Give me 2 seconds to take a look at that link here. I will take a peek here in 2 seconds. Oh, let's see here. Do you think this would look good in a dark wing case? Yeah. Yeah, you can kind of see they have a couple of renders on a darker case. I think that looks pretty dope. It's a cool desk mat too. I like that desk mat a lot. I am not a big fan of cat profile though. I haven't used it too much, but not the biggest fan of that profile. Have you used that before? Yeah, my plan for this keyboard is to bring it into the office. I'd like to have something that I don't have to worry about leaving there, and kind of have like a throw-around keyboard. I mean, to be quite honest, the keycap set is going to be worth more money on this keyboard than the keyboard itself. Alrighty. Yeah, it's close to, cat is close to a cherry profile if I am remembering correctly. That row went in really nicely. So you can see this row is nice and straight. You can see like this key, for instance, is crooked as hell. Sorry, it's upside down. Yeah, like the keys that I'm having issues with are this guy's crooked. This guy might be crooked here. Yeah. But the control keys, it's hard to tell. It's throwing my reference points off. As I mentioned, I'm just going to keep going, and we will fix any issues I have after I've completed it. Basically just want to get all of these switches in and push down to half an extent, and then we'll work from there on getting everything straight. Yeah, so profiles in terms of keycap sets, the ones that you have to watch out for are DSA and SA. Those have very distinctive profiles. Most people are comfortable with Cherry, and so Cherry therefore is what is most popular, I would think, these days. The cat profile, I think, is kind of like a mix between, it's kind of close-ish to Cherry, but also has some similarities. Like you can see, it's kind of like that rounded, almost scoop profile as DSA. So that one's not for everybody. It kind of just depends on what your interests are and what you like. All right, let's see here. Let's see here. Let's zoom this out a little bit. Zoomed out or closer in, chat? What do you guys think? We can also go back to the over the shoulder as well. I just caught myself looking up too much and seeing that what I was doing was off camera with that super close up, so I wanted to just zoom this out a little bit.
Talk to me honestly. I'm here.
Oh boy. Oh boy, we got crooked keys up in that one. Oh, of course we do. We only did it halfway. Huh. I'm an idiot. Those should pull through here in a moment. I'm hoping I don't have to resolder a ton of these. Living that PCB mount life. Gotta see that. Gotta see that solder smoke. We've made a wrong turn. Somewhere we've made a wrong turn. What in the world are we listening to? There we go. Let's get us back on track here. All right. So, NS6, what brought you into keyboards? How did you get introduced into the hobby? I'm kind of gathering that this is, that you're pricing out and speccing out your first build, right? I always like to hear how people found out about this hobby. Nice, yeah. I can understand that. Yeah, we're crooked. You guys can see we're crooked. That key right here. It's all good though. We'll figure this out. Let's keep moving. Gotta keep moving. Some of them will be straight, some of them will be crooked. We'll catch how much we got as soon as we're done. Getting them all loaded in here. Oh, okay, there we go. Nice. You have one of those like, what is it? The mice with all the holes cut in it? What are those called? I can't remember. Gotta have like the lightest mouse possible, is that? I've gotta have the heaviest mouse possible. No, I've got a gaming mouse too. Obviously can't work on, I can't game on this one. Oh dude, the trackball, the L track? It's such a beast. This mouse is so huge. I love it. I love the L track. Look, keyboard for reference. It's so large. Yeah, the L track is such a dope mouse. It has the best mouse wheel in the game, no doubt. I can be working through code, and I can be like, you know, pages and pages up, and with the mouse wheel on this thing, I can work my way. Oh, damn it! I've been doing the wrong thing. I've not been only doing one pin. I did a couple of switches where I did multiple pins there. We're going off the tracks again here. What in the world is happening? Let's do this. I just want some chill electronic music, please. Let's see if this playlist provides.
Oh baby, feel so hot when you are next to me. You're looking like my next mistake, I think. Sometimes you really need to go for it, then you realize.
Hey, NSX, thank you so much for the follow, my friend. I appreciate you. Alright. So, I have a couple of different desoldering techniques. I just like using pump for builds like this. Or we're just using small little adjustments, right? And this thing. That thing's gonna be molten. Yeah, that's a problem. So we need to actually reapply solder to this joint in order to... Oh really? I like this pump. The engineering 20, the engineering SSO2, whatever it's called. I love this thing. I have a vacuum, but that's way overkill for something like this. Why don't you like it? It works so good. As it's failing to pull the solder out. I've had two now that just remained with a lot of molten in there. There we go. Oh, really? That's a bummer. So apply heat, put the pump over it, and then depress. I've been having difficulty with it so far as well this evening. Yeah, if you get issues, there we go. Typically, you can just go at it a couple times and get it to work the element. Yeah, that one was good. I'm basically just getting these switches so that the molten heats up so that I can push the switch through. I just want to ensure that the switch is as far into the PCB as we can get it. Those ones that I had done with 2 pins on them actually weren't that bad, as a matter of fact. So I gotta say, from a build perspective, this would not be a beginner build friendly board. There's a lot of technique required on this. If you follow what I'm doing here, you'll be absolutely fine. And if you have a good bench, yeah, no worries. But yeah, just from an ease of build perspective, this is not the easiest build by any stretch of the imagination. You know, you've got to do you got to go slow, right? You just have to be meticulous with this kind of a build when you're going through, right? Need to make sure that the pins are all going in straight, and you don't want to have anything going in crooked. You're still going to have things going crooked, even moving meticulously as I am. I'm just hoping to, mitigate as much of that as I can, and after we get keycaps on this, we'll see how much of it is actually out of place, and then we'll rework on those. Hopefully not too much. Just one more row to go after this, as a matter of fact, guys. So, I mean, since we started soldering, we haven't been at it for too long. In fact, the entire build so far, our stream has only been running for an hour and a half, so not too bad of a process. We are looking at just a 60% though. If these were brand new switches too, they would go in a little bit more securely to the plate and PCB, so you might not have to worry about them as much then in that instance, you know what I mean? Okay. Let's go ahead and work that top row. This time, we'll go, as I meant to with the last row, 1 pin at a time. Oh, maybe that was the issue. Maybe some of those, it depends on what size through hole it was too, right? I mean, that pump certainly isn't the most accurate thing. If it was a smaller component, like a little microcontroller or something, I could see that for sure. The pump wouldn't cut it for something like that. Did you just end up using some wick or something? Okay. I'm going to go ahead and double check the switches on this top row, pushing them through one at a time. Yeah, so the through hole are the ones with the metal stems. SMD work is when you're working with the pads and just sitting at surface level with everything. Surface mount, obviously, SMD. But not all through hole is created evenly, right, or equal. You know, some through hole is very tight and narrow, and if you have a lot of solder worked into those joints and you're trying to use a pump like that engineering sucker, you know, it might not pull everything through. It also depends too on what type of solder was used. So if you were trying to remove factory solder from like a PS4 controller you mentioned, right? That's very shitty solder. Because those are machines working on that and have very precise instrumentation and measurements, factories can get away with using a much cheaper solder. It's oftentimes unleaded and just does not heat as efficiently as the solder that we use on our keyboards. So in that instance too, you're going to have a lot more difficulty with desoldering elements. So not all solder is created equal by any means. That's why you always want to use a quality leaded core. I normally go with like a 60-40, I believe. It's why I also typically use an exhaust, which I'm not using tonight. So we're just inhaling all this lead. It's fantastic. Shouldn't be too bad. I've got pretty good air circulation in this room, and I've got my windows open, so we should be all right. I don't want to introduce the exhaust in here right now. It'd just be so loud. Oh yeah. I honestly haven't any clue at prices, so I'm gonna take your word for that. I mean, it makes sense. It's probably right. It's probably better for the environment, all that jazz. But from our perspective, it does not work as nicely. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and get this thing dressed up. We'll go over the shoulder here. We're gonna get this dressed up real quick, guys, and then we're going to see which keys of ours are having issues. And from there, we'll fix them. Oh boy, Tulip. I need to figure out what's what on Tulip. I need the picture for Tulip. I don't know what key that is. I know it's one of these funky in the cluster here. Hot Swap is a far inferior sounding board. I do not recommend Hot Swap. Let me see here. Cherry Tulip. Set. Oh, where is it? You know what we can do? I actually had an image of this thing. Where is it? Yeah, that guy is for here. Should have noticed the bracket. Does it sound deep? So I mean, it can, but again, the issue with hot swap is that switches will have a tendency of coming out if they're shitty hot swaps. Yeah, I mean, I can't recommend hot swap. I mean, I understand the allure of it, but it's one of those components on a keyboard that I just have not had good luck with at all. So my own personal experience here, right? I can't recommend it. It's this guy. I think we're gonna do scoops on this one if I can find it. There's the scoop. I did not try any of the GKs. Are those are the newer ones, right? To give this more of an OG look instead of this tulip icon here on the bottom, I think I'm going to give it like the arrows instead. Series pretty old. Yeah, no, I haven't. Again, I've kind of stayed away from. You're talking to the wrong guy. I hate to say it for hot swap. That's not my cup of tea. You know, I'm so into the build process. If I ever, you know, want to try a different switch, I'll just desolder it and build it back up again. It's just that's such an easy process for me to undertake. I mean, I've got the desoldering vacuum and everything, so that's just not me. The PCB is literally screwed into standoffs in the plate, which is kind of odd. In the plate? This PCB is screwed into the case directly. Is that what you're talking about? Or are you talking about something different? I haven't even been paying attention to these keycaps as they've been going in. What do you think, guys? What's the over-under on how many of these are gonna be crooked? I say I'm gonna have 10. 10 crooked switches. What do you guys think? How many? How many are we gonna have to redo? I like it. 8. I'll take 8. I'd be very happy with 8. That right alt looked the most crooked earlier. Yeah, it did. There was definitely something wrong with the alt. Alt on both sides looks crooked. Those are tricky to get. Hopefully we don't have too many of the alphas crooked, because those are kind of a pain in the butt to get at. We'll get them all though. We're not going to allow a single one out of our sight. Man, the lighting on this right now looks a little crazy. It looks like I've got like a muted key set going on right now. This is beige, I promise. My color correction is off a bit. There we go. I know, yeah, it does look very gray right now, but yeah, maybe this will change it. Looks very gray. Color correction is throwing it off. I got like a neutral going on my color right now. Yeah, so right now to me, man, we're not looking too bad. The caps lock looks off to me. Caps lock, Z, the alt keys, honestly, on both sides look a little bad. Let's play around with the alt keys first. You guys want to take a look here? So we've got alt here, this looks rough, this looks rough, the Z looks rough, that looks rough. I think other than that, I know it's kind of difficult to see the angles, chat. Look at the lines here though. Where you see shit like this, you know there's a problem. That's a problem, there's too much of a gap there. My space bar looks a little bit crooked too. You guys notice that? No, maybe not at that angle. That looks crooked though. And maybe that too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think this is the only alpha that looks crooked. Look at that, guys. This guy right here. That's one that typically is, but that one looks okay to me actually. I'm actually happy with that one. Look at that line. The right alt is nasty. You're not wrong. The right alt is very nasty. The caps lock is the nastiest one if you ask me. Look at the caps. The right alt, you just don't have much of a reference. Yeah, alright, let me fix this. Let's go from top to bottom here, from left to right. So let's go with caps lock first. Go ahead and pull this sucker out of here. Just like that, please. That one looks better. Look at that now. Okay, let's go with the Z key now. The Z key looked all jacked up.
Best thing you taught me was how to leave. The worst thing you lost was my loyalty. You can keep on doing what you do to me. I lost you, but I ain't losing sleep. You can keep on throwing cannonballs. I know that you wanna watch me fall like a domino. I can't even feel them anymore. I'm an animal. You can keep on throwing all you want, throwing cannonballs.
Of course. They'd be all jacked up if they were plate mount. Or if they, man, I would have actually been impressed if I had done this good on plate mount. This would have jacked me up. I think we're good though, guys. I mean, we're close enough. We might fine tune it just a little bit here and there. If this was a client build, I'd go nuts, right? I mean, I'd look for utter and complete perfection. This is my personal build. We've been doing this for 2 hours now at this point. Let's go ahead and have some fun and put this thing in the case and see what it sounds like. See what kind of sounds and acoustics we can expect from a $60 keyboard. Give me 2 seconds, guys. Let me go ahead and just, I just want to clear this away. Give me just a couple moments here. Flux on my desk. Perfect. Love that. Flux on this guy. No. Alrighty. Oh, I know, right? Solder blobs are no bueno. There we go, guys. Obviously not mounted in there yet. Honestly, for $60, this thing looks sharp. I thought the gap was going to be bad. It's not that bad. I mean, that's the worst the angle gets right there, and this is not mounted, so I mean, it's probably some split between what I'm showing you here. This is an aluminum case. CNC milled aluminum case, so. All right, we need to remove a couple keycaps to get this rolling. I'm very curious to see what this is going to sound like. For $60, yep, the case is actually $25. I have no problem shilling these guys. Techkeys.com. The case is $25 and the PCB is $35. Techkeys.us. There we go. Thanks for correcting the link there. And then we need to remove Q. And tab. There's another one. And then we have something, is it around G? Is it below G? Yep, between G and H. G and H has another mount point, and then this guy down here. I need to remove my spacebar to get at that guy. Yeah, it's underneath the spacebar. Didn't need to remove these guys. Alright, and then we have 1, 2 up here. Give these guys a 1, 2 punch. There we go. And then this guy up here. That should be everything we need to remove to mount this. Yeah. I like Gaterons a lot. Any variant of Gateron. I think Gateron Yellow is probably my favorite, one of my favorite linears at the moment. One of, right? I mean, I don't say it's my favorite anymore. There's so many good linears out there. It's a good one for sure. You'll have no issues with them. What's up, Hands? Are you on the Alps bandwagon yet? I absolutely am. Alps are the way to go, man. If you're looking for a tactile, Alps is where it's at. You guys want to see something I have not yet built? I'll put this one together here at some point soon. I have it fake built at the moment. Here's a PCB and plate for the Jane V2. Here you guys go. Let's go ahead and mute the audio. Here's a Alps brown build. I'm really looking forward to that one. I don't know why I've been delaying so much. I've had this thing fake built and ready to go for so long. Stabilized keys are, I think all the stabilizers are installed. If not, they're close to it. This build is going to be dope. Yeah, I love this one. I did a really just a thin coat of dry lube on that one. Nothing much to it, you know? Alps don't need much. Alrighty. Back to this. Where were we? Oh, those are SGI granite caps. They are very difficult to find. And then they're IBM as well. They're an IBM typewriter, an SGI granite. Okay. This is going to be like precision screw driving. Go, go, gadget screw. We made it. We're in there. And then this is the last one here. This one is gonna give me trouble. This one is so tight going through the PCB. I don't want to strip it. Don't strip it. Don't strip it, Max. Come on. Gotta use a wider girth on this one. That's good enough. I don't want to get it stuck in there. A little bit of movement, I'm sure, on that one, but that's fine. We'll be okay. It's pretty good flex. The flex is random, though, so I will caveat it with that. The flex is randomly placed. It's not an even flex. So, yeah, you get what you pay for, right? And I gotta say, guys, I'm very pleased with the way this is looking so far. There you have it. What do you think, guys? $60 for this. Not too bad, right? Yeah, so the current build is CRP Tulip. The keycaps that you saw on that Alps board, that's what that's called. It's called SGI Granite. It's a very difficult vintage key set to find. Yeah, I mean, I gotta be honest, guys, I really like this case color. It almost kind of has, depending upon how the light is hitting it, it could have like an olive look to it, a gray. I mean, it is a gray case, but I mean, look at these greener hints in it. I think it looks really good. I'm very pleased. I'm very pleased. The only part that sucks is this right here. I got a nice little gash in it from shipping, but you know, for 25 bucks, what are you gonna do, right? I mean, you gonna complain? Not me. Doesn't sound like something I would do. All right, so what do you guys want to do? Do you want to take the time and actually do a QMK build with me? We can map this thing. Why not, right? Let's do it. let's do the damn thing. Let's go here into configurator. I think I have QMK configurator on here. Yep, firmware flasher. And we need to go ahead and get a hex. And I realize you guys can't see what I'm looking at right now. Let's see here. Just take my word for it. We're going to QMK right now, QMK configurator. And we're gonna go to, you know what? Screw that, don't take my word for it. Let me stop being a lazy ass, let me just show you guys. Let me go to, I mean, I think I have it. Do I not? Here, let's just add a scene. I've not had any skipped frames. The last skipped frame I had was 2 hours ago, so I didn't at least pick it up if I lagged on my end. Browser source. Or no, is it browser source? I don't think that's browser source. I think it's, what's the best thing to do for, is it just display capture? Is that the best? Let's move this up a little bit so you guys can't see that. Whatever, you can see my tabs. I don't think there's anything open in there that it really matters, right? No, nothing up in there matters. All right, we can close that down, by the way. All right, we are going, you guys should be able to see this now. And let's go ahead. You can see it to the exclusion of everything else, it looks like. Let's move this down a little bit. There we go. All right. There we go. That should be better. And now when I display, yep, there we go. Cool. All right. Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah, maybe it was something with Twitch. I don't know. All right, so yeah, we're gonna go here and we're gonna do GH60. Why are we stuck on this? GH60. It's a GH60 Rev C. And we're gonna do with ONZ. Yep, there we go. That's not our layout though on the bottom. Are we gonna have the bottom as an option that I can select? They don't. That's a bummer. I think that gets us as close to it as we can, right? I think this is the best bet. We just need to switch these keys. No, it's not delete. I need to do, where is it? How do I edit it? How do I edit it? Edit. This is gonna mess me up. Huh, okay. I'll look into that. Maybe there's something going on when I added, you know, oh, and you know what it was? I bet it was when, no, because that wasn't at the same time. I don't know, I was thinking maybe it was when I did the, what's it called? The, shit. Why can't I think when I did the display capture? But no, that wouldn't have been it. That wasn't when I was typing on the keyboard, obviously. What does it sound like, by the way? I gotta be honest, that's not a bad sounding board. I mean, it's not deep or anything, but it sounds pretty darn good if you ask me. I mean, for 60 bucks, this will be a happy addition to my work because I don't want to carry anything expensive there. As I mentioned, this will be absolutely perfect for the purpose it's going to serve. All right, so yeah, let's see if we can get this figured out. How do I do in configurator? I don't want to, I want to replace this. I want to, where is it? Isn't there a spot to change the key map? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? It's not this layout, guys. Nope, this is all just key map settings. Who knows where it is in QMK configurator? I don't use this as often. It's not this. Nope, it's not that. Don't care about that right now. Test keyboard, firmware, get QMK toolbox. Cancel. I need the win keyless option. I mean, this might work. This might work still. If I just do... I'm less concerned about the middle key over here. Let's try that. Left control, left alt. Let's try that right there and see if that works. It's not the right layout, obviously, as you guys can see, but I'm wondering if that'll pick it up still. And then on one here, this is going to be... Nope. Nope. Do I even have caps lock bound? I don't even have caps lock bound to anything on this keyboard that I'm on currently. That's hysterical. Is it this? No. Shoot. Here, hold on, fam. Let's go real quick into Bootmapper. I don't think I have that bound. Let's do a upload. Yes. What do we have here? Did I just wipe my key map? No, did I just wipe my key map? Oh, that's an epic fail. Okay, hold on. Did I really just do that? I just wiped my key map on that. That's so annoying. All right, hold on. Yeah, so that's what I was kind of thinking, not evening, to just ignore that key on the right side. But now we've got a bigger problem. Let me see if I have, I believe I have an import. Here we go, load hex. Let's go here into, you know what, hold on guys, 1 second. Let me just go here and hide that for 2 seconds. I don't need to be going into the entire file structure on my system here in front of you guys. Let's go here into this and then this is such an epic fail. I can't believe I just did that. You know what we can do to fix it real quick? Because I need to get, hold on, let's just do this. Toggle boot mapper. We can just fill it in real quick. F3, shit, F2, F3, F4, F5, F6, F7. Sorry guys, this is a huge pain in the butt, I know. I did not mean to do that. I meant to just grab. The caps lock key to bind it for that boot mapper client, but instead I had an epic fail there and decided to wipe the entire key map off of my Jane. So let me figure that out real quick and we will be right back with this. Okay, we did. We got that right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. Yep. Tab Q W E R T Y U I O P. If you've ever wondered how to map keyboards, you're getting quite a lot of that right now at the moment. All right, this is going to be left control actually. Left shift. Z. There we go, there we go, there we go. Nope, oops. I would not be surprised if I missed shit doing this. I want this to be function. I thought I had this bound like this, guys. I don't know why I had that like that. I wanted this to be function, this to be my GUI, this obviously spacebar, this my left alt, and this my left control as well. And then on my function, I wanted this to be caps lock. There we go. All right, now, what am I missing? Okay, I think we got it all. Left, down, right, up. I think we got it all. All right, now let's upload that. Go. Okay. There we go. All right, that's good now. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. Let's go back here. Now you can see. All right, I just finished remapping the Jane. That's all set, and now we have a caps lock key that we can invoke. There we go. Hey, that's what we accomplished. All right, and then let's do function. This is up, down, left, right. What else do I want to do? I think that's all I need for function layer for right now. Oh, no. I do need, this needs to be tilde. And then let's make this guy print screen. None of those guys want to go? Did they not work? What in the world? Okay, there's that. And then what I want to do on this, I mean, cross-check me here, guys. Do I not have the ability to do, that's weird. I guess I don't have the ability to do print screen. That got bound on there, right? Oh, cancel this. Yeah, that got bound on there. Weird. I don't know what that's all about. It just wouldn't let me map it there. Let's go back here. Let's go to layer 1. Let's make, that's tilde. Let's make this print screen. Print screen. There we go. All right, that should be fine. Okay. I don't think I'm missing anything, guys. I think that's good there for mapping that. All right, so let's go ahead and compile that. I want to grab this too. Once this is done, I want to grab the key map too. Make sure I save that, guys. Remind me. Make sure I save that before moving on. Okay. I think I only need the key map here. Full source. keymap.json. There's the key map. All right, and I think we are good here. All right, let's go back into my firmware. Oh, did that really do that automatically? Huh, I didn't have to put it into bootloader? I don't think it, did it recognize that? I have the flash keyboard there. Did I get the, no, that's not the one. Did I get the hex? I got the JSON. Firmware, there's the hex. Okay. Go back in here, choose hex. Downloads. Okay, flashing complete. Let's do a switch hitter. How about that, guys? Enter's not working. That whole cluster's working. And this whole cluster is working too. I just have multiple, I just don't have this bound to anything. All right, so we need to go there. That works too. That works too. Did we miss enter? Did enter not flash? Is enter broken? Why would enter not be working, guys? Oh, I know why enter's not working. Shish kebab. It's shorted. Enter's shorted right now. Hold on, guys. This is unfortunate. I need to figure out which keys are which now. I should have done this beforehand. My bad, guys. All right, hold on. Let me do this. Let me switch back. We no longer need switch hitter. We no longer need the website. There we go. Okay. Yeah, so this is a bummer, guys. Okay, so to what happened real quick. The stabilizer is screw-in. I'm using a GMK screw-in stabilizer. It's bottoming out on the, I think it's here. I think I need this guy off as well. We're so close, guys. We're so close. Get G and H off. We'll get through this. We need the space bar off too. And then function. Okay. We were so close. So close. I thought we had it done, guys. I thought we had it. So keep in mind, if you're building this, you're going to want to, if you're using screw-in stabilizers, you're going to want to go ahead and put a washer underneath this right side screw-in. This one here in the middle, in between G and H, that one's like surgery. I'm playing operation with this one. There we go. We got that one. 2 more to go. All right. Yeah. Yep. That's exactly what it is. You guys can see right there. That screw shortened it out. All right. I have some miscellaneous things around here somewhere. Here we go. Are these large enough? That might be too large. Let me see if I have some more washers over here. If not, we'll just electrical tape it. Yeah, I don't think I have any more washers. We'll electrical tape it. The washers I have are too big. Little handy dandy electrical tape will work for us here though. Where'd it go? Oh, it's this guy. Yep. I've just unscrewed it essentially, guys. Let's see here. Let's plug this back in and go back to switch hitter. Yep, that was it. Switch hitter is registering the enter key now. Take my word for it. I know I don't have switch hitter up on the screen. All right. Oof, 11:30. Where did this night go? Oh my goodness. That should do the trick. Let's test it again. Nope, it's still pissed off about that enter key. Come on. Oh, that's not gonna do it. Electrical tape is being an arch nemesis of mine tonight. I'm so tired. Where did that even go? Oh, there it is. Sergeant Pickles, what's up, my dude? How's it going? Let's see if we got it. I think we got the electrical tape securely around the screw that time. Nope, the enter key is still a little pissed off. There we go. All right, that's fine enough. That's good enough for me. Hopefully it stays good enough for the PCB as well. I hate when that happens, and more so than that, I dislike greatly that I did not have the washer I needed to fix it. Fantasizing about oversized keyboards when I should be writing papers. Absolutely. Anything to do, anything to keep yourself from doing schoolwork, am I right? Literally anything else greater than schoolwork. Trust me, I know the feeling, man. I'm all about that procrastination. Enjoy your stay here at the channel, my friend. We're just finishing up this keyboard build, as a matter of fact. So I'm about to put this thing back together and do a couple of typing tests. We're building something a little different for my channel tonight. This is a very cost-effective 60% keyboard, which, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and highly recommend it. For the price, it is hard to beat this thing. You can get this keyboard minus the switches and keycaps for $60. And for that price, there's no reason not to have one of these. Okay, that should do that. enter key didn't break. Please don't have broken again. Enter key. I want to be done with this build. I would like to be done with this build. Enter key. Let's get some typing tests in and call it a night. Okay, guys, let's try this again. Oh shoot! I didn't even realize I've had the music muted for the past little bit. Granted, we're at the point in the stream now where we want it muted, but yeah, someone should have told me something. Sorry about that, guys. I've had music rolling this entire time. Okay. Yay! Enter key's working. Would a hot swap be plate mounted or PCB? A hot swap would be, well, the hot swap itself is mounted onto the PCB, and so it could be either or. I believe hot swaps are all PCB mount. It doesn't really matter though. I think just double check to see if the PCB you're looking at has got the stems. If it's got the stems, then you're fine. Oh, shish kebab. Didn't mean to do that. Control C. I meant to just drag that down so that I had it down here. And let's go ahead and start up 10 fast fingers. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Let's do this. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I had this somewhere on my screen. I did. 10 fast fingers. There we go. There we go, guys. Alrighty. Okay. I'll be back in 2 seconds. Before I get into this, I'm just going to wash my hands real quick. Alrighty, here we are. All right, guys. So real quick to recap on this build, we are looking at the tech keys 60%. This is built up with some Gateron blacks. I have them in the milky housings with. Oh, what did I do here? This is 205G0 on the stems with a Cat Weiwei spring. I believe it's 62 gram, and GMK Screw-In stabilizers, lubed and clipped. And yeah, let's go ahead and hear it. Let me. not too bad. Not too bad at all. You know, definitely a little pingy. The space bar is not as nice sounding, but yeah, I mean, goodness gracious, for a $60 keyboard, sounds great. Not bad, guys, not bad. Go for one more here. Redo, redo, redo. Redo, redo, redo. Redo. All right, so let's recoup here. Let's do thoughts. Yeah, this keyboard, I'm not disappointed with it at all. I think it's going to serve its purpose perfectly. Sorry guys, there's a train going by. So this thing is really quite nice, right? It's I think it's a great form factor for, you know, something to take into the office for work. You know, and it really will work perfectly for that for me. A little bit hollow in places. I mean, it's light. You know that it's gonna, you know, not have an acoustics of, you know, like a Jane or something, right? It's not gonna sound that good. But for $60, I mean, what more could you ask for, right? So anyways, I enjoyed this build. It was fun, a little bit challenging working with the, you know, with the PCB mount only. But yeah, you know, good soldering practice and a lot of fun. If you're looking to get something to work on your, you know, your skills and put your bench to use, then you know, no reason not to head on over to Tech Keys and pick one of these up. You know, I'm by no means sponsored by them or anything like that. You know, this is just something that I came across, looked like a fantastic deal, and figured I'd pick one up and put it to the test. And yeah, I'm pleasantly pleased, you know. From a technical perspective, a couple things, you know, if we were really to nitpick, right, you know, you've got a pretty massive cutout here for your PCB, the USB, right? It does not come with feet. These are 10 millimeter feet that you're going to want to pick up with some of these. I think I've got like 3 millimeter in there. It's way too small, obviously. You know, you're going to have some QC issues with it. I showed this off earlier. You can see that pretty gnarly scratch there that I got in mine. And there's streaking and hook marks on it, and it's a tray mount case. And the problem with tray mount cases is you get some pretty uneven flex, which this definitely suffers from. You get more flex on the right side of the board than you do with the left. But you know, honestly, it doesn't feel bad at all. I don't think it sounds bad at all. If you take your time and tune this thing up right, perfectly good build. So I give this one a 7 out of 10. If I rate things. I don't rate things. What the hell am I doing? I'm tired. I'm out of here, guys. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Enjoy your week. I'll catch up with you guys maybe this weekend. I've got some cool stuff coming down the pipeline. Thanks again for tuning in, and have a lovely evening, everybody. Thanks. Take care.